Yo, what's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Thanks for watching Grind2Hard. I appreciate you watching the Grind2Hard podcast. We're here to motivate. We're here to talk to the entrepreneurs. We're here to get people off that couch and do something with their lives and find that passion. You know what I'm saying? So today is episode 47. We have a special guest. Her name is Sarah Brown. I just want to thank you for coming on today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate you. Sarah Brown is from West Texas Tales, right? That's the company you worked for. They're a rescue here in El Paso, Texas. And I just found her because I actually recently fostered a dog. I was pushed by some of the closest people in my life to, reach out and foster a dog. So I put my feelers out there, and it was kind of like I stopped by the animal services one day and I looked at the dogs, had one in specific in mind, and, they were already adopted. So I just kept my journey going, and luckily, great vibes. I met Arthur, and Paul, the producer, and his wife Danielle. They helped me, find Arthur and connect. And then there was Sarah right there. She was just like, I would say, it's weird to say, but like advertising, but like you're just like motivating the owner and relationship to start the owner, right? And that's what I would describe your job as. You're so enthusiastic about it too.
Yes, it's something that I'm totally passionate about. I wouldn't say I'm passionate about many things, but animals, and especially dog rescue, is my passion.
Oh, that's awesome. I appreciate that too, because like as a new dog owner, it's always like, I don't know what I'm doing, right?
Oh, you were so reluctant.
I was, I don't know, what am I doing? But it was like, well, like, what do you need? We'll get you a crate, and then come by and see him, and get to know him first, of course, and then you brought him by the house brought some food, even, you know what I mean, like a whole bag of food. So it's like less of a burden, it's just more of just how to get to know, build a relationship with the dog. Yeah. So I appreciate that very much, honestly, because Arthur's been a blessing. Seriously, like the vibes that I get from him are just like a good friend. You know what I mean? And I'm building a relationship because, like, not being a dog owner, I really had the notion of, it's gonna be dog, man's best friend. He's there for you, whatever you need. He's at your beck and call. He just, is when you're down, it's gonna be right there for you. It's a relationship you have to build. It's not like it's always gonna be there. You know what I mean? So I like it. I respect him. You know what I mean? I see him and I think about him during the day. Like, oh shoot, how's he feeling? You know what I mean? Like, it's a whole new vibe. Yes, guys. I don't know. You've probably known me for years. I really had a weird bad vibe toward dogs, and the reason is because I was young. I was about like 5 or 6, and I got bit by a beagle. It was my fault though. I was it was eating, and then it jumped at me and bit me. So I don't know if you had things like that happen, not you personally, but you've seen other people.
Oh yes.
So I had to go through that, and then figure out that I had a trauma, and then here I am now. I'm a dog owner, a proud dog owner, honestly. So so,
and I am so proud to be part of that process.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you so much, because you made it really easy, and honestly, like I'm not ready. Okay, I'm ready to foster another one for Arthur, if not adopt. But let me finish adopting Arthur, and then give him a pet, a friend. You know what I mean, for outside, because he loves going to the park. He's one of those social dogs that loves to go to the park. Yeah. So tell me more about the West Texas Texas Tales.
Okay, so West Texas Tales, we are a fairly new rescue in El Paso. We started in 2020, right before the pandemic, like February.
Wow.
Actually, I'm not even one of the founders. I just happened to foster a dog with them, and I loved their mission, and I kind of just became.
Who was the founder over there?
It's Evelyn and Tanya Worley. Well, Evelyn Guzman and Tanya Worley. They started it. And
shout out them. I mean, a great thing when any rescue. This is a nonprofit 501. So
yeah. So I actually found a pit bull, and I fostered through them, and then they were kind of behind the scenes. They're not as outgoing, I would say, as me.
Right.
And so when I started with their rescue, I was like, I'll go out, I'll do all the markets. And so then I just became kind of one of the directors of it. And I've been the outreach director, mostly of the rescue.
So if you had a title, that would outreach director. Yeah. So like what spurred you like to find out West Texas Tales, or how did you?
Honestly, like I said, I found a pit bull, and they were one of the only pit bull rescues. And I'd never had a dog.
Was this in 2020?
2020. My son was actually taking care of one of my friend's dogs. Okay. And his dog just hopped in the back of the car and was like, hey, I'm your dog now. And I didn't know what to do. And so I fostered through them, and I adopted. And
so you had never had dogs before?
No.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah. Okay.
So, well, my mom, when I was growing up, my mom had a dog, and my mom was adamant. She's like, this is my dog.
Okay.
She's like, I'm training it. You guys are going to ruin it. And so I saw how much work my mom had to put into that darn dog.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I don't have it in me. Like, nope, I don't. And then I was in the Army, so I was like, nah, I had cats. And then I came to El Paso, and I saw how many dogs there were, and I was like, it can't be that hard.
You feel bad. Oh, but do you have empathy for dogs before that?
I had empathy for everything. I mean, I'm a vegan, and I'm not, not that kind of. I'm not like a crazy
like a forceful vegan.
Yeah. But that's my. I have empathy, especially children and animals. Anything without a voice that, I have such a big void in my heart. Like,
yeah, sure.
They can't speak for themselves. They need other people. And I just can't imagine just leaving something in you.
And that right there speaks a lot about her vibe. Sarah's vibe is a high vibe. I love, when she called, she's so interested in, how's the relationship going with you and Arthur? Yeah. You know what I mean? And I was like, sometimes I'm busy, but throughout the day I'm like, Sarah, I got to let her know because she really cares. You really care. And yes. I love that about, when I'm, I felt like maybe fostering would be like, okay, here. Please take it. No, they care. They care about like who's the owner and what's going on with the dog, and if you need any help and you need teaching. I understand you have like even like education that you give.
Yep, we have education. We have trainers that we work with. We can come by and see how everything's going. That's one thing I pride our rescue in, especially is as a rescue, you want to save all the dogs, but we're a small 3-person run rescue. Like we need fosters, and my goal is that you don't have to worry about anything. You just provide this dog a loving home, provide us pictures so we can do the best at finding their forever family. But the vets, the food, that's all on us. Like we're the rescue. You are just providing a home.
Exactly. And it's exactly that, guys. If you're ever interested in fostering, the word is fostering the dog, right? So you go to the facility or you contact West Texas Tales and just say that you're interested in fostering. And just like that, you can figure out a match. They'll help you find a match. And sometimes you don't even I would recommend me when I get the next dog, I'm not going to look for a match. I'm just going to say who needs a home that would be good with a social dog. You know what I mean? And I would say make that move, and then because when you're fostering and you realize wow, I can do this. This is so easy. The food is not a burden. All I got to do is kind of walk him and make sure he's doing all right. Give him some place to move and stuff like that, because they're stuck in those crates, right? You were telling me they're just sometimes they're medicated to just not move and stuff like that.
It's hard. Like I said, we just try to make it so this dog will have the best life and the best chance of being itself. So when we do find a forever family, they're meeting the dog. They're not meeting the dog that's been in a crate. They're not meeting the dog that's been in a shelter. And that's the biggest thing. And a lot of people think I have a job, I have this. Dogs don't require much. For as much as people think, they sleep 18 hours a day. So when you're at work, they're sleeping.
Yeah, honestly, it works out. I just want to for a second go back. You said you were talking about the pit bull that you found, and then you found West Texas Tales, right? Yeah. What did they at that point? You started. You just dropped off the dog, or you?
No. Actually, I found the dog, and like I said, they're a foster-based rescue, and they didn't have a foster, so they're like, "Hey, can you foster this dog?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Oh, okay, nice.
And then we fell in love with her, and we ended up adopting her. Obviously.
Nice.
So
you saw that process. You were part of the process.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes. And like I said, at the time it was only 2 of them running it, and it was in the middle of the pandemic. So they were very stressed and
I can imagine.
short-staffed. And so I was like, hey, I'll do whatever it takes. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'll do it. And in that, I started seeing all the things that go into the rescue. Okay. So I started taking the dog to the vet. I started taking other dogs to the vet.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, this is what it is to be a rescue. It's not just hey, here's a dog, figure it out. It's no, I'll take the dog to the vet, pay for the vet, all that stuff. So, yeah. Nice.
So you kind of fell into it, and then you realized, you were helping not only the dogs, but connecting owners with dogs, and kind of raising their karma or whatever. But how did you get into did you have time? Do you have another job?
At the time I was in the Army.
Oh, okay. So you had downtime, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Awesome. So, now that you found your calling in the dogs, did you ever look back or no?
No. I just keep looking forward.
Nice.
I keep looking forward. Everything is, every time I see something, I'm like, how can I incorporate this to saving dogs?
Saving dogs.
Everything.
Awesome. What besides how do you like market? What kind of things do you do to market?
Well, okay, I'm not a marketing major, but we do social media, Instagram. Mm-hmm. One of my dearest friends, Eileen Mendoza, she runs Rescue Runners.
Okay.
You need to
Rescue Runners, but what is that? What do they do?
That's where they run the shelter dogs.
Run
every Sunday.
Oh, okay, like give them a walk or something like that.
Yeah,
Run,
so
okay.
every Sunday from 8 to 10, they walk the shelter dogs.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I have a friend, Jessie. She does that. Yeah. Shout out.
So she's one of my friends, and through her, I saw all of the opportunities. We've been at the farmers market. We've reached out to other vet clinics. We go to. I pretty much message anybody that does anything with dogs. I'm like, hey, can my rescue go to this event, or can you sponsor us?
Nice.
And then we've been invited to a lot of, especially at Gringo Theory, NEEP, and Dogs on the Run. We go to adoption events and outreach events, farmers market, stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely. So shout out Gringo Theory, the NEEP collective down in the Northeast. And then
Dogs on the Run is a grooming and a dog boutique. They actually have dog
Dogs
beer.
on the Run. Hopefully we can get that for you guys so you can see it, or Dogs on the Run, look it up, because I'm going to look
That's
it up.
That's where you found Arthur. That's
Dogs on the Run? Really?
Yeah.
That when I drove, I thought, wow, wasn't that Deluxe? Or no, I don't even remember. Okay.
No, Dogs on the Run was where we were running in, Dogs on the Run.
Oh, yeah, they had that running mill or whatever. Yeah, that treadmill. Okay.
Yeah, that's where you met
Arthur. All right. That makes sense now. Awesome. So in that area, it's kind of like a facility to bring people in and kind of like show the dog and see them in action and kind of like meet them and stuff like that. Because that's what I did. I saw him running on the treadmill when I walked in, Arthur, and he was just going. And it wasn't like he was like running after a carrot. He just like going.
Yeah, that took a little bit. I was in tears, actually. He didn't want to get on, and then he was making progress. I was like, oh my God, he's so good.
Yeah, that's funny, because like he's a timid type of dog, so like it takes a little while for him to do things. Like even like leaving the house, like going, like when you open the door, he like runs to the door. But like actually going out the door, the threshold, it took a while for him to like understand, because he would run like, I'm supposed to go, and then he would just take off. I'm like, no, chill. Like, and I'm like, oh, chill. But like now he understands like just to open the door and then walk, and then I'll close the door.
Arthur is so sweet.
He is, honestly. I love his personality. Like I told you, he helps me, kind of completes me, because I grew up in a macho household, and man, they used to put in, swing at the dogs, to train them, I guess is what they say. And so that was my MO. Like I thought that's how you train them, when they do bad. But with Arthur, it's a different plight. Like I honestly feel like that would be the opposite thing that would not help him and train him in any way. Yeah.
You need to give your audience a picture of this dog.
Yeah?
This dog is
I'll put it up there
sweet.
for him.
He's so You could look at Arthur and
I don't know, you haven't seen him in a while either, because he's gained, our pal said he gained a little bit of pound, but he's doing good, honestly. Like I like the way he eats. I like the way he like he waits for me, everything, and like he's doing well.
Whoa. Yeah. He looks like a dog now.
Yeah, right. He's looking good, guys. He's looking really good. This guy's I call him King Arthur, because like he reminds me of the movie Sword in the Stone.
Oh,
the little kid, he's just like, woo, you know what I mean? He's kind of like, but he's meant to be something, right? He's got this power, because he really, like at the dog park, he runs the show, you know what I mean? Like he's friends with everybody. You can bite him or nip at him. He's not gonna like jaw at you or nothing like that. I finally heard him bark. Have you heard him bark?
Never.
That's what I'm saying. Like he's got this personality where it doesn't need to bark. He kind of just looks at you, and I've seen him like be outside. Like one time at night, I was sleeping and I was like, I freaking left him outside. He's like, I'm like, oh, poor guy, man. I had the light on at least, but geez, he was out there for like at least a couple hours, by himself, whatever. Yeah, it's good though. Like, so fostering is something that you guys need to look into. If you have like my thing was I had a big backyard, so people would be like, "Gang, you just moved in the house, like get a dog." I'm like, no, I'm king of my own castle. This is my castle. You know what I mean? Like I like my space, but how many times do I go in the backyard? Like I don't, you know what I mean? There's nothing that I actually do. So I can only help out a little dog that has, nowhere to go, and, just some running room, you know what I mean? And stuff like that. It's weekends I take him to the dog park. It's not much, guys. And the love that you get back is tenfold. And
I don't think that people in El Paso, unless you're part of the rescue world or you make a conscious effort, like right now at Animal Services, there's over 400 dogs, 250 dogs minimum come in a week. So, and they only have, maybe 100 adoptions. And out of those 100 adoptions, probably 25 come back. And that's just the animal shelter. That's not all the dogs that are dropped, that are surrendered, that are just, abandoned. And I don't think people realize it is a big problem in El Paso. And if you can do anything, I know a lot of people think I don't have space.
Right.
Hey, these dogs are in literal 8x8 kennels, living in their own pee and poop.
There you go. Yeah. Just give you a picture. Like,
and if you have a house or a room that's bigger than that, like
right.
I have 5 dogs now. I have 4 on one side of a baby gate and 1 on the other because I have a Cujo that doesn't get along with the other ones.
Right.
But I mean, it's all doable. And once again, with our rescue, anything you need walks on the weekends, I'll come walk your dog.
Right.
I'll come walk the foster. It's our job to do everything. It's just your job to provide a loving home.
Right.
And I think that people really, really, really need to understand it's not hard. It's easy, and you are literally saving a life.
Awesome. And what I mean, seriously, like if you donate at church, your 10%. I mean, you can take that 10%, and then what you can actually donate to West Texas Tales or something like that. I mean, because like, what if somebody actually doesn't necessarily have the facility, but they really want to help out?
Oh my gosh, let me tell you, if you know anybody with a rescue or anything, we need the 3 Fs: food, funds, and fosters.
And it's anything specific, like
no. I mean, anything you have is going to be dog toys, dog beds, dog crates, anything. And a lot of people think, oh, I don't have a lot of money. $10 goes a long way to a rescue, because if we don't get funds, it comes out of our pockets.
Awesome.
And there's nothing too big or too small for a small rescue like us.
Right.
Like I said, we're only 3 people, and we all have full-time jobs. We all have dogs of our own. We all have lives.
Well, so what's the circle of how, like if a dog gets picked up on the street, like what happens?
In our rescue, we don't have a facility.
Well, no, like in general, because I mean, you'd call like somebody like somebody would call animal services, right?
Yep.
And then they pick them up, and then what happens?
And then they just stay there
At the animal services facility over there, like in the Northeast, right? And they have like a place to put them. I think I've seen it.
They have yes, it's pretty sad. It's literally just like little 8x8 cages that they stay in.
Like 4 of them at a time or something.
Well, right now they're at 2 at a time. And then they also have a location in Socorro by Speaking Rock. Okay. And then they have another location downtown at the times. Yeah. So there's over 400 dogs just waiting for homes all over the city.
I've been there, guys. If you ever stop by, it's I think it's Chaparral. Is that the road? I'm not sure, but it's
5001
that's
Fred Wilson.
Fred Wilson. That's the animal services, right?
And then there's one on Socorro Road. And then there's one, the Tales at the Times, which is, I think, 501 Mills. Okay.
So you can walk in there at any time, get information about dogs, and then you can also walk around their facility and look. They have like windows so you can look at the dogs and kind of like feel out. Because that's what I did. I walked around and kind of felt out the dogs and like see how they were. Because like I know you in your home, like you want to have a certain personality. You don't maybe you have the facility to let them run wild. You know what I mean? Like see if you can find that wild dog for whatever.
Oh,
but
yes.
Yeah, you get a little window into the animals, and you can check them out over there. So, like, let's say, what's the time frame that they can stay there?
The dogs?
Yeah, the dogs in the animal services. How does that work?
Some dogs have been there over 500 days.
500 days, and I know that their time ends at a certain time. Like they can't.
They don't euthanize dogs for space or anything. They usually euthanize them if they're having
sick.
Behavioral issues.
Oh, behavioral issues.
If they're not adjusting and it's not a good quality of life. As a matter of fact, 2 weeks ago we saved T-Bone, an amazing Great Dane Pity mix. We saved him literally an hour before they were going to euthanize him.
Aw. Yes. And what happens? They just it's a behavioral issue that they can't like fix.
So for instance, with T-Bone, T-Bone came in and he was friendly with other dogs. He was adjusting to shelter life. Right. Over a matter of like 2 or 3 weeks, he wasn't eating. He was trying to fight other dogs, and basically his quality of life was deteriorating, where it wasn't humane to keep him in that situation.
And what did he need?
He just needed to decompress. He needed out of there. So right now he's in a loving foster. He is getting along with other dogs. He just needed to decompress. No dog wants to stay in a
cooped up. Yeah.
And then there's lots of barking. They don't get a lot of sleep. They don't get a lot of attention. And if you're a lot of the dogs are potty trained. They are potty trained. So if you're a dog that doesn't want to poop inside and they have to poop and pee inside, it gets to them. Oh, yeah. So, but and that's another thing our rescue is doing. We're working with animal services, and we're trying to pull a lot of the dogs that are on the euthanasia list.
Good. So yeah, I did see that, and it's. I think what you're doing, like we talked about marketing, you're doing perfect. Like I think maybe like what and from the business world, the only thing I could say is that to post more. You know what I mean? Like, but obviously it takes time. But those are really impactful. I see them and I'm like, oh man, like if I could, like I just want, like that would be a perfect mate for Arthur. You know what I mean? Like it's good to keep doing that. Social media is a good outlet to market on it, and it's free, right? You know what I'm saying?
Kids on TikTok make it look so easy. It's not.
Because they're sitting there like all the time in the world. I mean, Jesus. Yeah.
I'm like, why are my words not matching with the beat?
Oh, dude,
it's a pain.
But once you do that 100 times, then you get it too. Yeah, trust me. Like, cause like the videos, for instance, like I was taking me like forever, and when even before that, I was like, I don't know how to do this. Like, it doesn't make sense. But like as you keep video, like doing editing and learning stuff like that, Paul would help me out and give me different directions. Yeah, the guy's our producer here at Nevermore Records. He's amazing with everything that he does. All the quality, that's where it comes from, guys. If you guys want to start your own podcast, I would definitely implore you to look up Paul Ward or Nevermore Records to try it out, or just come and talk and see what's going on. Because if you see the studio, you probably get amped up to start your own podcast if you have a message to give.
Yes.
So speaking of like messages or like education, do you guys do you do any education? Like, do you feel like you're shaping like the understanding of animal welfare here in El Paso?
I think we're trying. I think we're getting out there. It's really hard to get out there, but I think we are. I mean, just in working with animal services, working with rescue runners, working with other rescues. Right. We are really trying to get out there. We stress spay and neuter. We have info moments every week. We put, like flea and tick prevention. We put spay and neuter. We do like behavior, tidbits, everything.
Hey, that's another thing. Sorry, just to let you know, when I did get Arthur, he was spayed, he was neutered, right? And then he had his shots. Yep. I didn't have to worry about none of that. It's just basically just giving him a home. That's it.
I truly wish more people understood, because I think that there's a misconception.
Yeah, definitely.
Fostering is owning a dog.
It's a burden. You think it's just you're taking on a burden, another child. But it is. I mean, but it's not as daunting as people think.
Yeah,
honestly.
well, we have, like, for instance, if you go out of town, because you haven't adopted Arthur yet, if you go out of town, it's our responsibility to take care of him while you're gone. It's our responsibility to find somewhere for him. Nice. So literally, it's just like you're almost a daycare. Like, all we need is a home for this dog.
Yeah. Honestly, if that's all you, I mean, that's nothing. Honestly, that even if you live in an apartment, like, it's possible, guys, because like the crates that they're in is like this, and the crate that you guys gave me is like I don't know, 5 by.
I don't even know,
but it's basically like triple or quadruple the size. Just give them at least that much more space. They could live, because even in that crate that's pretty big, as soon as I open the crate for Arthur, man, he's stretching.
Oh, your audience has to see Arthur. They have to see him. He's so cute.
I have to do a little reel of him and his plight with things that he does.
He has to be a guest. Just sit right here.
So at the animal rescue, because like I bet you our audience has no idea, what does a day entail of working there?
Oh, so on top of my full-time job, right? Basically, any chance I get during the day, I'm looking for dogs, or if somebody messages me, hey, I found this dog, it's basically all hands on deck, pictures, give us a bio, give us where you found this dog. Our main issue is trying to keep the dogs out of the shelter and get them into homes. Right. So let's say you find a dog, you message me. The only thing we can do is just beg and beg and beg and be like, hey, Instagram, we need a home for this dog. Usually when we find a dog, the first thing we do is one of us will get the dog. As soon as we find a home, we take it straight to the vet. Before it goes to your house, we take it straight to the vet. We get it all vetted. We get all the shots, we get everything, and then we get all the supplies, take them to you. So unless we have fosters, we can't help. And then that's when we have to call animal services and say, hey, we have a dog. We don't have a home for it. It has to go into the shelter. And the shelter's like, foster care, like, you don't want your dog in the system. You want a dog in a nice rescue. Yeah, for sure. I guess, that from what I'm hearing, I'm getting educated. So I definitely, like, if I was going to donate, I would donate to one of the rescues, and West Texas Tales is probably one that if you're interested, maybe making a little donation, or like the crates and all the food that she said she needs help out, guys. It's easy enough. You know what I mean? Like, seriously. So what, as far as like having the dogs and stuff like that, what are some like protocols that you guys have to, go through for sanitation and hygiene? Because, I mean, personally, like I've been educating myself, but I can imagine you have like 10 dogs that you're dealing with at a time and stuff like that. Right now in our rescue, we have 6. 6? Okay. Yeah. All right. I mean, is it tough work? I mean, is that part of, no? Not really. Like I said, they're in we don't have a facility. So we take, thankfully, you never want me to go to your house and take care of Arthur, but there's times when we have to clean up messes, we have to go take the dogs for walks. anything that the foster parent needs, we really do. So it varies, you know?
Yeah, because like I bet you that's one thing that people are scared of. Like, what if I feed him wrong and then he makes a mess in my house, or
we have paid for a lot of walls.
That's part of fostering, guys. Listen, like, because I mean, this is education that I'm learning myself. Like, but you can take, if you could take on the burden, which I'm luckily that I'm able to. I've been able to, like, buy different things, like a new bed, even though he tears them up. God, what with dogs? They tear up the beds that you're laying on.
I know.
The third one that I bought. The first one I spent money on. The second one I kind of did, and the third one I was like, you're gonna tear it up anyway. So let me just get the cheapest one and then see if that works.
And by the way, you're buying those on your own. You didn't tell us you needed beds. So hey, if you want to buy beds,
that's what I'm saying. Like I said, I'm able to. Like I'm able to. You know what I mean? But if you guys aren't, money is like tight, but you still want to foster, they're able as a rescue to help you facilitate that. You know what I mean? Like it's all about the dog. It's all about the plight of the dog.
I stress that so much. We have a foster. He's a lawyer. He's a local lawyer, Orlando Torres, and that man is busy. And he has 2 of our dogs. He has Simba and Nala. And if there's times he's busy, he's like, "Hey, Sarah, I need you to take the dog. I need to take to the vet." That's his job is just to love those dogs. Whenever he's busy, he has a case or he's out of town in New Mexico. Hey, I'm there. I help with the dogs. Nothing is ever too much. You guys, our fosters are amazing. They're the ones actually doing the hard work of saving the life. All we're asking is, hey, we're just doing our part, trying to get this dog into a forever home. And you're just that bridge.
Yeah. And I'm bet like there's a good percentage of people that end up falling in love with the dog, maybe, and then adopting them themselves.
And unfortunately, in El Paso, because we are primarily a pit bull rescue, some of the fosters stick with their dogs for, unfortunately, months. Like 3 or 4 months. At the 3 or 4 months, they have this foster dog because people aren't lining up to adopt these pit bulls. That's why when we go to these events, we try to showcase that pit bulls are not bad. We have a local trainer. He actually just moved to Austin, but state line canines. He trained actually 3 of our fosters for free. He board and trained them.
Oh, wow.
We have Nala there in Austin. So
State Line Canine? Wow, shout out. That's
yes,
good.
He's amazing. And we have local trainers that'll come out and help us if the dog needs training. Like I said, we just ask people to just open their hearts and homes.
So let me ask you, like, the rewarding aspects of your job. I mean, because like this is an awesome thing that you're doing.
Like I said, 3 weeks ago, we rescued Orca from Animal Services. She was a little blue pitty, and she was literally they were going to euthanize her the next day. She was losing, for a dog, she was losing like half a pound a day. She was not doing good. Oh. Yeah, she was doing really
depressed
bad.
Or something.
Yeah, and we saved her. We got her like a day before she was supposed to be euthanized, and actually somebody wanted her, and we got her adopted in a week.
Nice.
The next week, we found T-Bone, which was the Great Dane pitty. We got him an hour before euthanasia. And there's nothing more rewarding than saving a dog and then seeing them go from shut down to playing in the yard. And
Yeah, I do know, actually, because like I'm telling you, the plight of Arthur was like kind of low and stuff like that. And as he's getting more and more accustomed to the house, like when he gets the zoomies or whatever, he's all happy and his tail's wagging. Like it's like, okay, like he's liking it, you know what I mean? He's liking me even, you know what I mean? Like, because that's the thing, like we're trying to get to know each other at the same time, you know what I mean? So it's fun. It's fun. So like networking, like how do you, like I know you talked about marketing your product, but networking, you seem like you have a great network of help.
Like I said, if I see anybody in El Paso that has anything with dogs, I message them like, hey, would you like to give us anything? Could we do a shout out? Anything. It's in El Paso, surprisingly, for the dog community, there's a lot of people that don't know all the dogs in need, but there is a big dog community here. So it kind of balances out. So a lot of the dog rescues, groomers, boutiques, everything, we all kind of know each other. So it's great. We tag each other, all that stuff. It's really good. And
the events that are most like successful, I guess you want to say, but are what type of events?
Probably the farmers markets.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's really cool because we actually partner with New Mexico Valley Farms.
Okay.
She has the cutest little van full of flowers. She's so cute.
Yeah.
And we'll stand with her and we'll have the dogs in the front. So as soon as you walk in the farmer's market, you see them.
Mm-hmm.
We also do dog events like at Neep Collective.
Right. Yeah, you were talking about
and
that.
And Gringo Theory does a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like a bar. I remember I Hope and Anchor too.
Mm-hmm.
There was like I don't know what, there was an event. I think Ex Novo was doing an event, chili cook-off. Yes, and then so like they kind of coordinate the chili cook-off, and then they'll have the dogs in a little area so that you could check them out for adoption or fostering, and then that's pretty cool how you guys coordinate and work together. Like it's all a network, you know what I mean? Like make the event bigger, and each person kind of markets and gets the people in. That's really cool. If you need anything, as a chef, I can do. Please, I'll donate my services.
Hey, y'all
seriously.
heard it here. Y'all heard it here.
And I'm not kidding. Seriously, as far as food, I could do it. You know, like put it in front of me. I'll cook it up and make it 5-star for you guys, and then that way, hopefully, maybe you get a donation or whatever the case may be. If somebody like a big donor makes a big donation, you can let them know. I've done that for Paul for Deluxe. So if you want, I'll donate a $300 gift card, and that way we'll make something happen for you.
That's
okay?
what I'm talking about.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, I got you.
To put like a basket together or something.
Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah, because like I know that can help, and it's the least that I can do. Seriously, my service, you know what I mean? So let me do that for you guys for sure. But like education wise, I haven't reached out, but I know it's there. Like, how would I get that?
So if you foster with us, I can't speak for other rescues, but when you foster with us or you adopt through us, basically anything you need, we're there for you. So if you're like, hey, my dog is eating all these beds, we'll come through, we'll say, hey, try this bed, or hey, try this spray, or hey, if we can't figure it out, we'll get one of the trainers that works with us to come by, see all that stuff. Basically, it's kind of like everything is personal based. If whatever you and the dog needs, that's what we're here for.
So there's somebody out there that has no idea about dogs ever, like never had a dog, but they do have a heart and like, I want to try this. Like they can call West Essex and start from square one.
So what I like to do, me personally, when you reach out to us and let's say you want to foster, we give you the foster application. Obviously we have to look at your house, make sure everything's good. What I do is, I come to your house and I'm like, okay, make sure everything is good. I will stay as long as you need to make sure the dog is okay. I come by. I probably annoy this guy so much.
No. It's good though. Like, you care. It's honestly.
I check about twice a week.
Right.
And, I say, hey, what do you need? How's everything going? Send pictures, all that stuff. And we try to make it as personal as possible. Personal to you, personal to the dog, so that we can, find this dog their forever home.
Right.
So whatever is needed, we do it. Whatever is needed.
And how about like if your dog needs like attention, like gets sick or something like that?
Well, just like Arthur has allergies. So if you can't take your dog to the vet, we'll take you. I'll figure out when I can get off of work. We take your dog to the vet and we bring it back. If not, you go to the vet. We call the vet first and we say, hey, call this number when you're done, and then we pay. And then
is it a collaborative with the vet, or is it just like the rescue is just another?
Most of the vets around here, they do give a rescue discount.
Okay.
We use Eastwood Animal Clinic on Montana.
Yeah.
And they
do
pretty much. Oh yeah, they pretty much work with us, and they know our animals, and they know us really well. So they don't give us. They got to pay their bills, but they do give us a really fair price, and they give phenomenal care.
Well, I'll give them a little shout out. Eastwood Animals
Clinic,
EAC,
okay, Montana.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, because like I wouldn't know where to go, so that's awesome. Like good to know. I will get that address so we can take him today. Actually, I got time, so we can look at it, the allergies, make sure he's doing all right. And I apologize, audience, but like we got rolling right into it. I just wanted to go back and kind of like let the audience know who you are. Like, so you did say, so like, did you go to school here in El Paso?
No, I'm actually from Lansing, Michigan.
Oh, right. Nice.
I joined the Army at 17.
That's the capital of Michigan, right?
Yes,
so is it like a big city?
It's fairly big.
Fairly big?
It's not as big as Detroit.
How about like El Paso comparatively?
It's about the same
About
size.
the same. Okay. Detroit's like the big city in Michigan.
Everybody thinks I'm from Detroit. I'm like, I'm not a poser. I'm not from Detroit. I'm from Lansing.
Lansing, okay.
Yes. And then I joined the Army when I was 17. I did 22 years in the Army.
Wow. Thank you for your service. My goodness. Oh my goodness. That's awesome. 22 years.
And then this El Paso was my last duty station. So I bought a house here, and both of my kids started high school here.
Awesome.
And I promised them wherever they started high school, we wouldn't have to move anymore. So
that's good.
We ended up in El Paso.
Right.
And then I've been here since 2017.
What do you think? You like El Paso?
I do like El Paso.
Yeah.
I like the weather. I'm from Michigan, so I'm used to green and water.
And cold?
Oh, I don't like I like that it's not cold here.
Yeah, okay, cool.
But I miss grass and green. I miss water.
It's coming though. Like the summer, we'll get that little 4 months of some green coming up. You see the Northeast too. Like it's weird. The trees growing. You're like, oh, it's not so gross. Like so dark, so dingy.
I'm on the far east, so it's just desert.
Is it? Oh, okay. Because like when you're on the 54 and you look toward the I guess I don't know what direction, but to the left, you see the mountain, and like right now is when the green starts coming, and like you can see it filling in as you go to work. Yeah, for sure. It's real nice.
The Northeast and the West are just like, oh, and then there's the desert where we live.
What was your MO in the military?
I was 74 Delta Chemical Operations.
Oh wow!
Specialist. Yeah, it sounds really cool.
It sounds really cool. I was gonna say
hey, that's what the Army does.
Nice.
We make it sound cool. It was pretty interesting.
Yeah, and do you carry that with you at all after?
A little bit.
A little bit. Yeah.
I think that my kids get the brunt of my military.
Yeah. Do your clean your bed and like.
They were raised by a very strict mom.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that, you know. If they take 90 or 80% of that with them in life, they'll be good.
I'll tell you, but with the kids, it's like I'm very disciplined. With the dogs, I'm like,
oh no, you're a pushover.
Yes,
oh
I'm like,
no,
oh, you're adorable.
Oh man,
but yes,
yeah. I guess I'm turning into that. You know, and it's like, oh, it's because it's Arthur. Oh, it's okay.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I gotta catch myself though because he's still young. He's still getting. You know, I don't want him to learn some bad habits. You know, stuff like that. But he's doing good. That's funny. And then El Paso, do you like to vacation? I mean, do you go back to Michigan?
I go once in a while.
All right. So El Paso's your home. That's awesome.
We have 5 dogs, and my kids are.
You have 5 dogs right now?
Yes, I have 5 of my own.
Nice.
And so my kids are 18 and 20 right now. So I guess they're not really kids. They're my roommates.
They're your kids.
So we can't really do vacations because boarding 5 dogs is like a vacation in itself as far as funds go.
Yeah.
So we kind of rotate like, hey, my dad, I'm like, hey, do you want to see the boys or do you want to see us? And then we kind of go back and forth. Usually he wants to see the kids and not me. So I get stuck staying home.
Well, either way though, right? So I want to ask you, like, with your job and the passion that you have for the animals, what's the like discipline that you have for yourself? Because I know it probably came from the Army. I mean, you're very disciplined, obviously disciplining your kids, like you said, but like, how do you discipline yourself to keep going and doing this job for the animals?
I will be honest. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes, like I said, when we don't have fosters and we have to like take a dog to the shelter, or sometimes when you see just the horrible conditions, it really takes a lot, but you're like, okay, I have to separate and just do what I can and just keep going, because at the end of the day, I know what's going on. A lot of the dogs don't know what's going on, and all you can do is do what you can and just save and do everything that you can on that day. That's how I kind of live. Like, what can I do today for this dog?
Yeah.
And it kind of
appreciate that outlook. I mean, obviously, we all like go throughout our days. If we can just focus on the things that we can control and the things that we are able to be successful in, you know, and just not worry about those things that we can't control. You know what I mean? Because it'll pile up on us.
Yeah, it gets. When I first started, it got really overwhelming.
I bet.
Because it was like, I want to save all of them, and then you can't, and then you're just like,
Yeah, and I think that the same way, because I see Paul and his wife the same way. They just want to save them all. I see the angst, and I'm getting there too. Like that's why I appreciate you coming on the show.
No,
you can tell our audience about this, and we can kind of I can do my part in like helping the education of people here in El Paso.
Yeah.
So entrepreneurship is basically what we talk about here at Grind2Hard. And do you have an idea? What would be your definition of entrepreneurship?
Well, my definition is basically like making something out of nothing. You come from, you know, you're not Walmart. You didn't come from a millionaire or whoever. The average entrepreneur is like, you have an idea, you have a passion, and you just, bam, make it come to life, and you bring other people to your dream.
Yeah.
And to me, that's what entrepreneurship
Absolutely.
is.
And that's exactly, I apologize that maybe I should have told you I don't need the definition, like not to give you that pressure, but what do you your definition?
Pressure. Yeah. The Webster defines it.
I want because even if you're freaking Elon Musk, you know, what is his definition of entrepreneurship? And I think you put it in a great light, because I think maybe you're not an actual business entrepreneur, but you're pushing your passion and trying to help other people and creating these different lanes, networking and marketing and stuff like that. So it's a big job what you're doing. Seriously, like I think you're doing a great job.
Thank
honestly,
you so much.
seriously.
I appreciate
I appreciate like us like connecting somehow. You know what I mean? Like, it's all the vibe. Seriously, from my tattoo artist to meeting Paul to fostering author and you being the facilitator of all that. It's really good vibes, and I like the direction of my life, you know, with the podcast and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna keep going this direction.
And that's one thing, is you got to surround yourself with good people and like-minded people. And sometimes that's hard, you know, especially with rescue. You know, there's some people that were in my life because they were like, it's just a dog. Well, it's not just a dog. And, you know, if you don't surround yourself with the right people, you're not going to get the right results. And, you know, like you have a phenomenal, like, bond, and you have a phenomenal team, and that makes it so much easier. And it's the same with everything. And, you know, dog rescue is no different. Like, if I surrounded myself with people that were like, it's just a dog, or that dog's okay, or it's fine out there, you know, it wouldn't be as successful. But your team and the people you choose to surround yourself with is the biggest probably impact your business, your rescue, anything in life will take you.
Awesome.
And people get good vibes. Like, I think people tend to, especially like you're talking about entrepreneurship, you know, sometimes there's those people that you have around you and they've been around you forever and they're like, it's kind of a stupid idea, but you keep them in there. And then as soon as you get rid of those mother truckers, everything goes well. And I think people need to understand, like, there's going to be naysayers. You just got to get rid of them. Like, and that's the biggest thing for me, is you got to have a good team. You have to have
positive energy. Definitely. That's we push here is stay positive, stay motivated, and keep going. And if you can say that about your friends or people in your circle, that they're feeling the same way and they push in the same way, then you're gonna make it. Yeah, seriously. You gotta keep staying in that lane though. I think negative people is not, I mean, I've cut off the negativity, seriously. Like, and I'll tell you, like, that it's part of growth. Yes. You have to cut off the negativity, and then you know what happens is, like, either they'll fall off and you'll never see those people again, or it'll come back around. Like, damn, you inspire those people because of the work you put in. You know what I mean? The hard work that you know it takes. So what would be your advice to somebody that was like, you know what, like, I want to help out a rescue, like, I want to put in work, I have some volunteer time. Just do it.
Nobody's perfect. Nobody does anything perfectly the first time. I think there's a saying, it's like, it doesn't have to be perfect, just start. You know, you can make it perfect later. If you want to help with a rescue, just message us. Instagram, Facebook, call us, anything.
I mean, it could be as easy as, like, can I come over and just, like, be with, like, pet them, like, walk them or something like that, just help out.
Anything. And I think people in our age, when I was younger, I didn't have social media. I'm pretty old. And when you would try something, nobody would see your failures. You know, you'd kind of like fail and people would see the success. Sure. And I think on social media, people think like, oh, I have to be perfect, or I have to be great, or I have to rescue this.
That is kind of like what social media portrays in a way. Sure.
So just do it. Just try anything. If you come out on Sundays and you walk the dogs at Rescue Runners, hey, you're doing something. If you reach out, if you see that we're going to be at Gringo Theory, just stop by, donate $5.
There you go.
But rescue a dog. If you have a yard, hey, I have a yard, you guys can come take the dog for an hour. Anything.
Nice.
Like, just start.
Yeah, exactly. Do anything. And then if you contact them, they can give you that start. Like, you don't know exactly what it could be. Like, they'll let you know. So one of the questions we ask entrepreneurs or people who come in with their passion, because you can come across wrong with people, with clients, networking and stuff like that. So what's the line between confidence and cockiness?
Wow. I think the difference for me is cockiness is when you don't appreciate what you have. Like, cockiness is like, yep, this is me, I got it, I don't need anything. Confidence is when you're like, you appreciate all the hard work, you appreciate all the grit, you appreciate all, in my instance, all the dog crap, you appreciate
literal.
You appreciate, like, it's, and then so it's, you earned it. Like my goal would be to have like 1 million followers and have like, so, you know, like, I would love it if our rescue was like the rescue of El Paso. Right, that's what I want. Sure. You know, and like, if I ever get there, we get there, we will one day.
Yeah, absolutely.
But like, there's a big difference. Your confidence, it's earned. You're just like, it's an aura of like, yes, this is mine. Right. And cockiness is just like, just being me, I deserve it. Just being me, I don't need to owe anything. And especially in a nonprofit, we thank everybody. If you've ever donated to us, I hope you realize, I'm like, thank you again. We try to post it.
But I think the maybe you might go a different direction when you're actually like letting people know, like, you gotta foster our animals. You know what I mean? I think because it's and maybe somebody might take it as brashly, but it's such a cause that people are just not aware of, or they might be like kind of like putting you know what I mean, a blind eye to. So keep your crusade going, like seriously, like, because it helps the plight of our city, you know what I mean? Like seriously, we need to raise that awareness of, you know, the animals that are in need of help, you know what I mean? Like just a little bit of more space and
I feel bad I'm taking off a tangent, but
not at all.
So I was reading a book, and it was talking about self-esteem, and it's like, if you want to like boost your self-esteem, do something that's esteem worthy, right?
Right.
You know, like people say, making your bed or anything, you know? And just if you talk to anybody like yourself, when you foster a dog or you foster an animal or you help in any way, just the level of like self-confidence and self-esteem you get, like, I made a difference. It might not be big for, you know, on the stage of the world, but for our little rescue or for that little dog, you just made a big difference. And I mean, we've met so many people that they fostered one dog, and they're like, oh my God, I want to foster another, and I want to foster another. It's just, it's a whole nother part of yourself that you find. You're like, oh my God, I am saving a mother trucking life. I'm responsible. Like, I'm doing something good. Yeah, that's true. On the podcast here, we talk about, you know, if you're depressed, if you're low, if you're just not feeling it in life, like, go out there and succeed in something. Go find something that you can actually succeed in. If it's like knitting a sweater, or if it's going playing basketball and just hitting a couple threes, like, just do that, because that'll actually boost your self-esteem and make you feel more confident. Here you are, where you can actually go out there and save a life, like a dog's life, and foster them, put them in your apartment, or have a little bit extra room in your house or something like that. And then every day, I'm telling you, like, it's a little bit of a reward. Like, I wake up and I'm like, not so much into my thoughts. I'm like, I gotta feed the dog, you know, and it's part of my routine now. Let me get up. Let me go let him out. Let me get his food ready, and then I'm ready to get on the day. You know what I'm saying? There's so many things, you know, that before I was like, you know, on social media and like, okay, do I start working? What do I do? But now it's like a routine now, and I really feel like a house, you know, because I was by myself and my kids come over during the weekends and stuff like that. But now it's like me and Arthur, you know what I'm saying? It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I just think that people don't understand, and you know, maybe dogs or pets aren't for everybody. I totally get that. But I will say, in my experience, I have seen people, just the way their faces light up. It might not be instant, but when you see them when they first take this dog and they get into a home, you just see, like, it's a glow. They're just so
I wonder
happy.
if it's a myth that people are like not dog people, because for one, my grandfather, he's a hard-nosed, you know, he was very prideful, but I mean, he's in his old latter days and stuff like that. So he actually would like have a dog on his little dog on his lap and like petting him and talk to him in a different language and stuff like that. So, and me personally too, like I swear, like I'm 42 years old. 41 years of my life, I never had a dog, never wanted a dog, and I don't like. I used to not like the wet nose touching me and like the fur. It was really like bothered me, seriously. And I've changed my whole MO. Like, I seriously, like, I don't care about the, like, I want him to get as close as possible. I'm like, how much do you love me? Do you love me? I don't even know. Do you like me? I don't know. But then he'll show it, you know, he'll show it. But you know what I mean? Like, well, you gotta like open up. You gotta be vulnerable. It's just like having a relationship. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta stop worrying about the hair, or if you worry about it so much, you know, roll it up and clean it up. And, you know, every so often, groom your dog often. There's ways to go around these things. You know, like, oh, I don't like the dog breath or whatever. It's like, you know, things you can get over. Honestly, like, seriously, you'll learn to love a dog. That's why I think that's kind of a myth. Everybody's a dog person. They just got to kind of open up their heart a little bit more.
Yeah, and I have a very, very, very big soft spot for pit bulls. And
I do not too.
My grandma, my grandma comes from a very, very, very small town in Michigan. One stoplight, it blinks.
Wow.
Like,
it blinks.
No.
Seriously, she's like, serious.
No, like my grandma's town, a guy tried to rob the bank twice, and all they did was call his wife. They're like, hey, he's trying to rob the bank again. So that tells you about my grandma.
Yeah.
And she's like, pit bulls will bite your face off. Well, I have a 95-pound, big old fat pitty. And my grandma met her, and she went up for a hug on my grandma.
Oh.
And my grandma just like melted. She's like, oh my God, I didn't know dogs smile. And I think that's why I like pit bulls, is they just smile.
Yeah, they got that big, huge smile. Yeah, definitely.
And now my grandma's like, I want a pit bull. I'm like, Grandma, you're 95. You'll be okay. We'll just send you pictures. But she like completely changed. My dad, the same thing. Oh, that dog will turn on you. And then he met my dogs. He's like, they're not going anywhere.
It's the truth. It's the truth. Oh, they're so awesome. Like I when I was younger too, I had a friend that had a pit bull, but he trained him to be aggressive. That's the thing though. So you'll have that bad vibe. I mean, you can train any dog or an animal to be aggressive, you know? I mean, there's ways, I'm sure they're horrible, but yeah, I mean, but the plight of a pit bull is not that. That is not the plight of a pit bull. They're very loving and caring, yeah, for sure.
Another thing that I have found about pit bulls, it's not by science, audience, but pit bulls, they will do anything to please their owner. Like, they just want you to be happy. So if this dog fighting another dog will make their owner happy, 9 times out of 10 they'll be like, oh, my owner will like it when I do this. That's what I'm supposed to do, yeah.
And
yeah, I mean,
they don't have the biggest brains, but they have the hugest hearts, let me tell you.
I tell everybody, I tell everybody, I am not a German Shepherd person. I don't need a dog that's smarter than me. I don't need a dog that's made to jump out of a helicopter. Like, that's not my personality. I don't want a dog that I have to take for 6-mile walks. I want my dog that wants to lay on the couch with me, go for a walk around the block, and love me. That's what I want. I don't want a dog that's like, I need a job. I'm so smart. No, I don't want that. I need my jock, my little pit bull that just wants to cuddle. And I think people need to realize there's a dog for everybody. If you're an outdoor person, get an outdoor dog. If you're a freaking couch potato, we have tons of those.
Nice. That was my first dog when I really like, okay, if I get a dog, I'm going to get an English bulldog. But those are the lazy ones, aren't they?
Yes.
They just chill around. They don't really do anything much but eat. And a friend of mine had one, and she said that she had to like drag him on walks. Come on, we're going to walk.
My dog, one of mine, if it's in the morning, I have to go to work at 5:30, so I get up at 4. This dog was like, no, I'm not going outside. Like, and if it's cold, she's like, nah, I'm not going outside.
Yeah, there's been one time because like Arthur will go out, like, hey, Arthur, let's go out, and he'll stand up and go. But the one day he's like, I'm not going. I'm like, what the heck? You gotta go outside. And I opened the door. It was like cold. I was like, how did you know? Like, okay, never mind. Yeah, dogs are pretty smart. One of the last questions that we asked here on the podcast, and it's to entrepreneurs, it's to all these people who own their businesses or just doing crazy things in life, but how do you pay it forward? And you don't need to answer that because you are paying it forward with the job that you do every day. So we appreciate that here at Grind2Hard, honestly.
Well, seriously, thank you. Seriously. I do pay it forward. Whenever I go, I always mention, if I can, I mention, like I said, animal services, rescue runners. I mention Dogs on the Run. They have been truly supportive.
There you go.
I pay it forward. How I think I pay it forward is I will, if you've supported me, I support you. Yeah. So if anybody's ever done anything for our rescue, we really try to like say, hey, go here. Or if we can't help, we go to another rescue. Or if we have let's say we have a dog kennel or something that we can't use, we give it to other rescues. But I think that's a lot of the rescue community. Our hearts are so big.
Yeah, sure. So honestly, like, so I mean, is there anything else you want to tell the audience? Anything that you might have missed that they need to know? Like,
I just want to say that in El Paso or anywhere, just fostering, donating, anything, any little bit helps. And I don't think people realize that just the littlest thing means a lot. A lot of the rescues in El Paso are 1, 2, 3, 4 people run. We all have full-time jobs. We all have dogs at our home. We are all trying our best, and any little bit helps. And fostering is free, it's easy, and it's so rewarding. So if you're ever wanting to rescue or foster a dog, or you know anybody that wants to adopt a pit bull, please contact West Texas Tails.
Yes, and that's Sarah Brown, and you can find her at the West Texas Tails Rescue. That's here locally in El Paso, and they are networking with all other rescues and vets in here in town. So if you need help or if you want advice, any education that you need, reach out to them. Also for donations, if you guys have any little bit of a donation that you can help them out with, because they're a day-to-day facility. It's not like they have weekends off, you know what I mean?
It's 24/7.
So do your part if you can. Otherwise, the education is there, and then you can help out by just being educated and helping out. So thank you so much, Sarah, for being on the show today.
Thank you again.
It's been enlightening. Honestly, it's a different kind of a vibe here, but it's perfect. It fits in because her passion is dogs, and she went out there and she made a difference. So y'all, if you can make a difference, but either way, stay positive, stay motivated, and keep going. You know what I mean? Whatever it is, go find it and do it. Just like she said, just do it. Thank you so much, Sarah. It's been a great show.
So
been a great show. I appreciate you.
No problem.
Get that liquid death, y'all.